Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020, and I am here today for my 4-week post-op plastic surgery update or my 2-year, 8-week post-op VSG update. So I was totally feeling the summer vibes today, even though it is, the dead of winter. So I thought I would do something a little bit more fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So to start us off with stats, again, hi, my name is Grace. I am 5'8", 29 years old. And on January 2nd, 2018, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG weight loss surgery. My highest weight ever recorded was 354 pounds in May of 2017, and I was required by my insurance to do a 6-month medically supervised weight loss diet. And over the course of that 6 months, I lost 35 pounds. So my starting weight day of surgery was day of VSG was 319 pounds. Over the course of about a year and a half, I lost over 120 pounds, and I maintained for a good 6 months or so around 190, 195, and had plastic surgery on January 29th, 2020 with Dr. Alejandro Galvez in Tijuana, Mexico. I had a full abdominal lift, I had a breast lift, no augmentation, and I had a bra line back lift. So it has been 4 weeks since then. Last week, I came at you with the weight of 181, and this morning, right before my shower, I weighed in at 180.9. So that is a weekly loss of 0.1 pounds, a loss since my VSG of 138.1 pounds, and a loss since my highest weight of 173.9 pounds. So technically a loss again. Like I'm talking about weight, but as I said last week, we're not really quite at a point where I feel like weight matters all that much, just because I'm still sort of healing, fluctuating. There's definitely still swelling. The swelling is not as bad. Has gone down a little bit. I feel, and I'll talk about why I think that in a few minutes. But my diet still hasn't been great. The plan is once I go back to work next week and I actually have a routine again, I'm hoping that that will help me just ease back into being a little bit more mindful with my nutrition. It has not been horrible, but it's not been great, particularly just because I am moving much. I'm not burning a ton of calories in terms of exercise, though healing bodies do burn calories. So I have a lot to talk about. I feel like so much happened this past week, and also nothing happened because I don't do much, but we'll see how long this video ends up being. So first thing is, last week I mentioned that there was a stitch on my extended tummy tuck, that horizontal tummy tuck line that looked like it was a non-dissolvable stitch, and I confirmed with my surgeon that it wasn't, so he had me remove it. That was super easy. Just took a pair of cuticle scissors and some tweezers and pulled that out. I also this past week removed these stitches in my belly button. So I did that yesterday. Also got approval from my surgeon to do that. And there were, I believe, 8 stitches in my belly button. And again, used a pair of sanitized cuticle scissors and then some tweezers just to pull the stitches out. The scissors obviously to snip the stitch right near the knot, and then tweezers to just pull. They're very tiny little things. A little bit difficult just because it's hard to kind of see in the belly button, especially as I am a little bit swollen still, but managed. Wasn't too difficult, didn't take too long. Very, very tiny little amount of bleeding, like a pinprick kind of amount. But I just kind of cared for my belly button as I have been doing. I've been kind of going back and forth between putting in a foam earplug in there to kind of help it keep its shape, or a piece of gauze. So I use gauze this time because there was just a smidgen of blood. But yeah, I mean, I've heard my surgeon, they use your actual belly button. So they say that it's not super necessary to put something in there to have it hold its shape. But I've just been doing it because why not do that extra bit? He said it doesn't hurt to do that. I really like my belly button. I've heard mixed things from people in terms of what the belly button looks like after surgery with my surgeon. I think it just varies person to person. Mine is quite deep. I mean, not a creepy deep or anything, not that weirdly deep, but it feels about as deep as it was before surgery. I mean, maybe slightly less just because there's not also that extra skin popping out, you know, in addition to the belly button. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far, but we'll see how it goes as it heals. I know that it can change, but so far, so good. Having my morning protein shake, so let's see. Sorry, it's hard because like my writing is not great, so let me try to see. Oh, other thing is that all of the tape is now off of my incisions. So when you know, after they stitch you up in surgery, my surgeon, he puts tape on, and then you basically just kind of wait for that tape to come off. In some places it had fallen off. In some places I kind of took it off. They generally want you to wait at least 3 weeks before doing that. Mine was really loose and starting to come up. And so I just sort of encouraged it to come off just because I was starting to feel like it was getting a little grungy, and was kind of wanting it, you know, didn't want it to be trapping moisture and stuff. So I just kind of stood underneath the shower head, kind of encouraged it up, and then used a little bit of vitamin E oil to, you know, encourage any spots that were sticking a little bit, because you want to make sure you're not pulling, because there are scabs and you know that can cause wound openings. So all of that is removed. Didn't have any issues with like wound openings or anything with removal. You know, a little bit of scabbing along the incisions, not a ton to be honest, but to do that I was cleared to put a little bit of vitamin E oil on the incisions, which is one, hopefully to help soften them. It's supposed to be good with scar treatment. Scars get bad because they get really dry. So you want to, you know, moisturize them to a point, but you know, it's a delicate balance, because if there's any openings that can cause infection. So make sure you're working with your surgeon to make sure you're caring for your scars the way you should be. But it's helping with the scabs to soften those, and then also with the itching, which I don't know if you can tell, it's driving me fucking insane. Oh God, the itching is bad. So sorry, I try not to do it, but it's hard. It's hard. And it's basically everywhere. I would say from like here to like, yeah, like basically my bottom incision, you know, like my entire trunk itches everywhere. And I think, you know, that's really common. So it's not just the incisions. And it's worse after my shower when I put my Faja back on, which is what just happened. I just put my Faja back on. And so like just that, something, you know, about that compression there. Your skin is quite dry. My skin is dry everywhere. And I do not have dry skin. Like I've never used, I basically never use lotion ever. Nowhere on my body except for my face. But like never in my entire life have I used lotion with any kind of regularity. I've never needed to. My skin has never been dry anywhere. It's dry everywhere now, which again is also quite common. So I've been using lotion as well in the places that aren't near the incisions, you know, kind of just like my lower back and you know, my stomach that's not directly near the incisions, and then on my legs as well. My arms are not dry, so there's that. I have been taking antihistamine for the itching. Does not feel like it's helping. Maybe it is helping, and if so, oh my God, how much worse would it be? But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Sorry, I've got like little arrows being like, oh, and don't forget to talk about this here, and I'm trying to like figuring out where I'm at, man. Speaking of scars, so I can see them all now because the tape is off. They're looking fine, quite thin, quite dark. I kind of expect them to heal dark. My VSG scars were pretty dark. They're all gone now. I'm pretty sure they're all gone. I actually did not confirm, but I'm almost positive they're gone, just because of where they were placed and how much skin was removed. But for the most part, those did stay kind of dark. And so I don't think I scar great. Those are the only scars I've really had that aren't, you know, like really that are anything. So we'll see. I'm not concerned about the darkness. I mean, I am going to obviously do what I can to get them to heal as nicely as possible. But at the end of the day, I'd rather the scars than the skin. I knew that going into it. Scars were not a huge concern of mine. So, you know, I am going to try to encourage them to heal well, but I'm saying, you know, to an extent, it's sort of gonna be genetics, and I think I might be genetically predisposed to not great scarring, but I don't really know. VSG were the only ones, and they were so tiny, it was really hard to know for sure. But my vertical incision, it kind of like is slightly crooked going from my belly button to my breastbone. Not something that bothers me at all. It's just like slightly slanted, so it's not like a perfectly straight line from breastbone to belly button, which again, given how much skin they had to remove everywhere, I'm not surprised. The one thing I'm a little meh on is my breasts. One of my scars on the left breast is a little bit higher up than I feel like is ideal. Like, it's on the actual breast instead of in the crease of the breast. Let me see actually if I can show you guys without being too explicit here. Let me see. Sorry, I'm like straddling this chair. So my sports bra, okay. So you can see my scars. Sorry, try not to be. So I don't know if you can see well. The scar is like perfectly even and straight across, but here, this is like the crease of my breast. And down here, this is the crease. God, let me try to move this chair so I can. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so you can see like this is where my breast falls, and this is where the scar is. The scar is like on the actual breast itself. But the weird thing is like the crease of my breast is so much lower on the left side than the right, because this is fairly even. It goes up a little bit, but you know, the crease of my breast is down here. So, you know, it seems like they went with being even as opposed to going on in the crease. And I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna let it heal more, and we'll see. I don't know if it's something that they could fix, because, you know, it's one thing if, you know, just the scar placement, I don't know. Basically, I'm not loving that. Oh my God. But, you know, it is what it is right now. And I wanna see if he did say that, you know, it's gonna take some time. Like he said, even just a lift is going to settle. So I do want to give it time. You know, there's still some swelling. It still needs to settle. So maybe things will change once once that happens. God, sorry, this stupid thing keeps coming undone, which is another thing. I don't know if you noticed, but oh my God, this fucking, okay. Ay Dios mío, por favor. Okay. So I'm in a new faja. Actually, I kind of want to show you again. I'll stand up again. So you can see, first of all, so this bra has like inserts in it, and it makes my chest look so good. I wish that they look like this all the time. But this is a new faja, a contour faja. I'll talk about it in a minute. I talked about how I got it. So it just, it's a stage 2 compression. It makes me look so snatched. Also, let's talk about these leggings for a second. And how they used to be skin tight on me, and now I can like, anyways. So I just wanted to kind of show you. This is it, contour faja, and I will try to remember to link it below in case you're interested. It is a stage 2 faja. So right after surgery, the first like week or two after surgery, you are in a stage 1 compression. It's a little bit looser, has a little bit more give because you are so swollen afterwards, and you know, you want to be able to have some comfort while still having compression. Stage 2 is a little bit stiffer, a little bit firmer, tighter compression, which I was happy about because the stage 1 faja I had was quite loose on me. It wasn't really providing any compression. So I got this one. When I got it, it seemed like there was no way in hell it was going to fit on me. I was actually really freaked out because one of the things about these contour fajas is that they're custom made to your measurements. So once I purchased it, I used a code, which I'll include down below. Michelle Bacall on Instagram is awesome, and she had a code. So, and then I paid a little extra to have a consultant, like a video chat with a consultant, to do my measurements with me, just to make sure I did them right. But I was a little bit paranoid that even though she was doing them with me, that I would still have done them wrong. And then I got it, and I was like, oh shit, I did do them wrong. But then I messaged Veggie Mama VSG, also link her below. She's on Instagram, and she had surgery about 2 weeks before me with my surgeon. Very similar surgeries to what I had. And she'd also gotten a contour faja. And I was like, holy shit, this doesn't fit, like freaking out. And she sent me a video on my consultant's page that shows you how to put it on. And that totally helped me figure out the way to get it on so that it would actually fit. It was super tight. It still is. I mean, but I'm already on the second hook. So I've already been able to cinch it in more. And I actually have a piece of lipo foam on my right side, which is the side of my my lower right abdomen is the part that is the most swollen. It's a little bit extra swollen. And so I just have some extra compression on that side to hopefully help encourage it down a little bit. But yeah, enjoying the contour faja. One thing is, and I mentioned this before, but it does have an open, it's like crotchless, right? So you can use the restroom and all that in your faja, but it is such tight compression that it basically just pushes all the swelling down. And so you have like just a ball of swelling right in the opening. And it's not the funnest. I mean, one, you look ridiculous. Two, it's actually quite uncomfortable because what ends up happening is like the leg holes, the holes around the crotch opening are, quite tight because you want to have compression in your legs as well. And so they end up, because your swelling is like pushing out of this hole, the leg holes are like cutting into the side of your mons, and it's not fun. So I alternated with two things. Sorry, this looks gross because I was shoving it, and so this is the outside part, and it's just been stained from my pants, like the dye has been coming off of my pants onto it, so it's not like nothing gross here. And you can see like this is where the butt of my faja was rubbing, so you can see like the black of the faja. And so I basically just like put this in my faja to provide an additional to basically soften the edges of the leg holes, and to also provide a little bit more compression there. I've also, right now, I'm actually using pads. So I've taken 2 of those maxi pads and I've put them alongside the leg holes because this was starting to rub and give me a rash as well. So I wanted to change it up. So that's how I've been kind of life hacking that. And, one of those things I hadn't thought about, I hadn't realized, like, why would I think about the faja making my mom swell? Like that's just like a weird thing to know. So now you guys know that's a thing that happens, and it does happen to most women because everyone I've talked to has been like, oh yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about. And I'm like, good. I'm glad it's not just me with like a freakish swelling. Anyways, oh, if you want to see more photos of me though in the faja, like full body or whatever, you can go to my Instagram. For those of you who are curious, there we go. Next, swelling, I already talked about that. Super dry skin, I've talked about that. Oh, I've also been doing a light exfoliation in the shower. I have exfoliating mitts that I got when I do it when I self-tan or when I got my Brazilian, to help prevent like ingrown hairs. And so, sorry, the pads have come out from, there we go. So I've just been lightly exfoliating like my stomach and my lower back to help encourage some of that dead skin to slough away, as I've been also moisturizing. FDL wound update. So I mentioned before that I had a little bit of an issue on my FDL incision. So basically where my horizontal incision meets the vertical incision, just that little spot right there had opened a bit. And so I'll go ahead and, put a photo. Sorry if it's gross. This is plastics and wounds are part of that. And I know that that's a thing I want to make sure I talk about because it's not going to be completely perfect all the way around. It's almost impossible for that to happen. So, marginal like little wound. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's healing fine. There's no signs of infection. I've been changing the dressing twice a day. I have some gauze that I put with some ibuprofen, which is like a antibiotic, antibacterial gel, just to ensure that it doesn't get any infections. It seems to be kind of like forming its own healing. Like there's no like big holes. But right now that's what he's advised me to do. So I'm doing that for the next week or so, basically, just kind of working on getting that nice and healed. Another thing is I've had a few instances of stitches popping out. So like sometimes your internal stitches will sort of start to pop out of the skin. I haven't had any big issues where it's a lot of times that will cause wound openings. And I've just had issues where there's just like kind of like a clear stitch popping out of my skin, but there's no wound around it, and I just leave it alone, don't touch it, don't pull it out, because that can cause a wound, and it's been fine, but that is a thing that can happen. Like I've mentioned, I return to work next Monday, so that I will have taken off a total of 5 weeks, but 4.5 weeks after surgery. So my surgery was on a Wednesday, and I took the Monday, Tuesday off. Obviously, like the Tuesday to fly down there, the Monday I could have gone to work, but I just wanted to use that time to really prep everything, and I ended up actually needing that time to do a few things. So I could have gone back to work this week. So at 3.5 weeks post-op, I felt like I could have gone back to my desk job. So I work a desk job. It is very minimal labor intense in terms of like physical exertion. And I have felt okay enough at this point to go back to work. I'm happy to have had this additional week to really rest and recuperate. I think being at least 4 weeks out before returning to work, you know, like that's kind of a good benchmark for me, in my opinion. And with what I had and how I've been recovering, 3.5 weeks would have worked fine for me. But I'm glad I've got this time to heal. More things. So I have, in addition to my plastics playlist, where I have a playlist of all of the videos I've made personally on plastics, I also have a playlist that is public, that is plastic videos by other weight loss surgery YouTubers. So I know that for me, I was really interested in learning as much as I could about this journey from other people who'd gone through something similar. And so I've kind of curated a playlist with all of the videos, by a lot of the people that I follow, in case y'all are interested in watching along. And I've added some videos, More Than Mom, who used to be, oh God, I don't even know who she used to be. Made Up Mama. She had a tummy tuck and breast lift with implants right before I did. Drea, VSG Drea, she had her plastics like not even a week before me. I want to say like half a week before I did. Also medical tourism, but I think in the DR. And she also got a tummy tuck with a breast lift and implants. And she's just started to talk a little bit about her journey. And then also Erin, my level 10 life, she got plastics like 2 weeks after I did, also in Tijuana, but with a different surgeon. So there was like 4 of us who've all had plastic surgery within about a month of each other, and all went to different surgeons, all had slightly different things. Erin just had lipo and an extended tummy tuck. So variety of different things. If you want to go check out their videos, those are in my my plastics playlists by other YouTubers. Other things is today is the first day of Lent, Ash Wednesday. I am sort of Catholic. I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but we've never been particularly devout. But Lent is something that I do observe. So I'll be having no meat on Fridays, and for Lent this year, I'm giving up what I gave up last year, which is online shopping, which is something that I've been doing a lot of since I had plastics. So I think taking that away will hopefully be helpful and not cause me to overeat even more in search of a outlet, since I can't work out. But I am going to actually put in 2 exceptions to this. And normally, you know, I'm not a big like exceptions, but I do think these are necessary, because the first is a bridesmaid dress. I need to have a bridesmaid dress by basically the end of March, so within the next month, and I'm going to try to find one in person, but I'm thinking it is likely that I will have to buy one online. And because there is a timeline, and I have not been able to get one before now because I just don't know what my measurements are going to be, that's something that I might not be able to get around. I am going to try to find one in person. I just don't know how, because I have specifications on what kind of dress I need to find. I might have to go online. And then the other is, there is a set of makeup brushes that I really want to purchase that have been out of stock for months, because they are quite, they're handmade. They have restocks like twice a year, and they might be restocking during Lent. I think it's actually going to be after Lent, so I think I'll be fine. But if they come back in stock while I'm on Lent or during Lent, I am going to get them, because they are ones that I've been wanting for a long time. I've been planning for this purchase, and they will sell out quickly, and then I won't have an opportunity to purchase them again for a while. So those are and there's no way for me to buy them in person. They're only available online. So those are the 2 exceptions that I'm making, and I might not even need them, but I'm just putting that out there. It's not really weight loss or plastics related, but you get a little bit of everything over here. Final order of business is, I think my plan going forward is to move these videos back to my normal Tuesday posting. So for you guys who have been around on my channel for a while, you know that I post weekly updates for my VSG every Tuesday because I had my surgery on a Tuesday. I've been posting these plastics updates on a Wednesday because I had my plastics on a Wednesday. The days are so close together, I think I'm just going to lump them together. I am mostly talking plastics right now, but you know, I talk a little bit about everything. These are kind of a combination plastics VSG update. It's just plastics is the dominant focus at the moment, but eventually, you know, I think they'll kind of merge together a little bit more seamlessly, and it's just easier, I think, for me, it's easier to do these videos on Tuesday once I have my regular schedule back. So I think I will start posting these again on Tuesday. And the last thing, hopefully, is I think I'm going to show you some photos. So I haven't taken any photos yet because my roommate has to take them, and she has to take them when she gets back from work today. So I was planning to have her take them yesterday after she got home from work, and then she was like, "Oh, I've decided to go to a last-minute concert," which great, but it just meant that she didn't get home until midnight, and I was asleep. So she'll have to take them today after she gets home from work. So hopefully this video will be out when it is still Wednesday, and hopefully we'll take the photos. But I wanted to have photos for my 1 month. Just showing you, I don't know if I even mentioned this, but I'm basically standing up straight now, you know, almost entirely. I think it's a combination of the tape coming off, and also you tend to stand up straight at the 3 to 4 week mark, and it was kind of right between the 3 and 4 week mark where I started to stand up straight again. So, but it does vary from everyone, so if you're not following that timeline, that's totally okay too. And yeah, photos of me had 1 month post-op plastic surgery. Very exciting. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do think this video got a little long, but I want to, you know, talk about as much as I can and really give y'all the full experience. I'm trying to, you know, document the good and the bad. My recovery has been quite easy so far. You know, in the scheme of things, certainly easier than I was anticipating, but it's not been perfect, and you know, your mileage may vary. I do want to try to document as much as of the good and the bad as I can. But with all of that being said, thank you guys again for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all of the support. I really do appreciate it. It's been really nice to be able to interact with some of you guys, talk with you guys, chat with you all, while I'm home recovering and have so much free time. But I will talk to you all next week and update you on how week 5 has gone. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all very soon.